Be the light, you must feel.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video, we're going to be catching up with the pop boys, okay, the pop men of this new generation. Okay, we're going to be talking about what they're doing, what's going on, catching up. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my music. Check it out, okay? You can type my name, Sam Dolphin, on YouTube, and it will pop out. You can also stream it on all music streaming platforms, such as Spotify and Apple Music. So definitely check it out. I'd really appreciate it. So getting back into the pop boys, okay, the pop men, okay, of this new generation. And the first we're definitely going to have to address, and I'm actually very late on it, is Liam Payne and his recent death, his very tragic, depressing death. You guys all know, and if you don't know, Liam Payne is from One Direction. He was one of the 5 members. To me, he was like one of the main ones, especially like in the beginning. You can tell like they were, at least in my opinion, I felt like he was like the center that they were kind of pushing. Of course, the other guys were kind of there too, but I felt like Liam Payne had the most mature voice and demeanor. And, as the guys went through, a lot of things have changed in terms of who's the leader or who's the top one or blah, blah, blah. But Liam Payne, to me, definitely, especially in the beginning of One Direction, he definitely, to me, represented more like the face. And he's actually a Virgo, so Virgos tend to be very perfectionistic. I felt like he had the best voice of the group, and the most mature kind of like demeanor. Not in general, because I don't know them personally, but just like in terms of how he represents himself. So he tragically died from a hotel where he was, on like a lot of serious drugs, and he was like passing out, and they put him back into the room, and then like he really like jumped out from the balcony from the 3rd floor, which was crazy. A lot of One Direction fans were like just going through it. It is really sad. It really is. It goes to show that, I don't know if I always like to blame fame, because I feel like everyone takes it differently. Some people can handle fame, some people can't. And I'm not even saying he couldn't, but Liam definitely struggled a lot with his career and like transitioning from the One Direction group member to a solo artist. I felt like he had the hardest struggle. And I feel like some people are meant to be in a group. Like some people do better in a group versus being a solo artist. To me, I say that with Liam Payne because I feel like, I remember when he went solo, I actually downloaded a couple of his songs. They were actually pretty catchy to me. They were pretty catchy. So I actually listened to a lot of his songs. I had Bedroom Floor, Strip That Down, Hips Don't Lie, Polaroid, Get Low. Oh my god, I actually have quite a few singles on my playlist with him. So yeah, actually those songs are pretty catchy. I'm gonna go back and listen to them because they were actually really catchy. To me, when it came to Liam Payne as a solo artist, I felt like his songs were pretty good to me. Like I had a lot of his songs, obviously I was listening to them, but the way he approached it, I remember with his album, he was like, yeah, I wasn't really too into it. We just kind of like took songs that we like and put them together and blah, 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 and we just like released it. Which to me, I felt like people criticized his album because they felt like it was too superficial. There was no real soul. And the way he explained it, he basically admitted that he wasn't really connected to the project, which is like, okay, well, why did you do the project? I personally feel like every artist doesn't have to be so personal. There's artists who make very personal music, and there's artists who just like to make a strong playlist type of album. I like to call it like a playlist type of album where they're just putting hot songs. I feel like if he stood by his projects more, if he stood by them like, yeah, this is my songs, I like fun songs, I like songs that are catchy, this is my vibe, people would have vibed with it. I felt like because he kind of made it seem like he wasn't connected, he didn't make it seem, he literally said like he wasn't connected to it, that's when people were kind of like, ugh. Because I feel like every artist is different. You have people like Harry Styles who are very eccentric, very unique and different. You got Zayn, who's like more soulful, more deep, more soulful. And then you have people like Liam, who's more pop, more about like a hit song. But I felt like you stand by that, you know? Instead of saying like, you know, my album isn't really something I connect to, just be like, no, my album is like a hot playlist album. You know, that's what I am. You know, and I remember him starting off as a solo artist. Everyone was excited, you know, and everything. And I feel like he had great music. But again, like, I feel like he struggled as a solo artist because he couldn't find his, like, identity, really. And I feel like that could be also mental issues. You don't know what happens behind the scenes. Doing lots of drugs and stuff like that, not being happy with your life will make it hard for you to stand by your music. Okay, so I'm one of those people that I never really thought Liam Payne was like the worst of One Direction. I never even thought his music was really that bad to me. Because I've seen a lot of people critique his music. A lot of people say it's not that good. I never really thought they were bad. I just felt like he did not stand by his music. And that made it hard to stand with him, because a lot of these songs I used to listen to a lot, but I haven't listened to them in a minute. And the way he was just promoting himself. Then he got on the interview and talked about like how he sold more than all his other bandmates. You know, just all those other stuff. And I'm not criticizing him. I'm not pinning him down. You know, rest in peace. God bless his soul. You know, I'm just saying, like, it's interesting because I just feel like when it comes to being an artist, it's not just talent, it's also your mentality. Okay, where you are mentally. Can you handle it spiritually? Can you handle it? So, you know, it's just, it's really sad. Actually, looking at these songs, like, I'm definitely gonna listen to them again because they were catchy. But it's really sad again, and it's just interesting, and it just goes to show again, being an artist, if you have, you know, mental issues, emotional issues, going into this crazy industry and being an artist can just skyrocket those issues and make it even harder. And I felt like, even though I felt like he was very talented, I did not agree with a lot of the think pieces that people made about Liam Payne. I always felt like he was talented, and I didn't really feel like his music was trash. I just felt like he did not stand by his music. And I feel like he didn't stand by his music because maybe he wasn't confident within himself. Like, when you're going through mental, emotional issues, it's hard to be an artist and represent yourself. But with all that being said, again, God bless, you know, Liam Payne's soul. May he rest in peace. And hopefully his family, you know, I know his family's going through a lot, and his fans. But, you know, it's a sad situation, and, you know, I just hope he rests in peace. So what do you guys think about Liam Payne, his music career, and about, you know, and what do you think about all these mental issues in being an artist and how that affects things and how it can almost skyrocket your issues or multiply your issues because of the fame and all that energy? You know, so rest in peace, Liam Payne. You will definitely be missed. Next on the Pop Boys list is Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, okay. Now, recently, the reason why I'm actually bringing him up is because I haven't heard anything from him recently, like, at all. Which is very interesting. I heard that he actually got dropped from his label, or maybe he's disobeying his label. Recently, he's been cosplaying as an underground New York artist, and then I haven't seen him. Well, one thing I've noticed about Lil Nas X is, like, the consistency kind of lacks. Like, he'll be here, and then he won't, and then he'll be here, and then he won't, and then he'll be here, and then he won't. And, you know, I remember he put out that J. Christ song, which I didn't think the song was bad, but the message was very offensive to a lot of Christians, so I couldn't get down with that. You know, I'm a person, like, you know, you respect people's religions. You don't have to tap into other people's beliefs and mock it, especially when you don't practice it. So I completely understood the backlash. I mean, I wasn't surprised about the backlash. Like, if you're gonna troll people's beliefs, that's what's gonna happen. But as of now, he hasn't really been out here doing anything really. He's having kind of issues with his label. He was cosplaying as a New York underground artist. Like, it's kind of a little bit all over the place. I hope he's doing fine. You know, Lil Nas X has a lot of potential, a lot of talent. He's done a lot, but it kind of seems like it's getting harder and harder for him to keep the momentum. the gimmicks and all those types of stuff that he does, I feel like when you actually listen to his music, he's actually pretty talented. Like, there's interesting harmonies that he chooses. There's even the rapping and the flow is pretty good, but again, there's no consistency. And the trolling is at an ultimate level. I just don't think the trolling works. Like, it's outdated. He needs to stop trolling and just focus on the music. And that's where I put the question is Lil Nas an artist, or is he just more of an influencer? Meaning, like, our music is just the vehicle he chose, but he's more about making statements, versus actually making music, because it seems like he's never okay with just making a good song. There has to be a gimmick, there has to be this, and I just feel like the gimmicks, one, you have to top the gimmick after each gimmick, so it's going to get worse and worse to the point that it just becomes too much, which is what we have seen with him mocking Christianity. So I say that all to say, I hope he's doing fine. What do you guys think about Lil Nas X? Where do you think, where has he been? And what is he going to do? I think he needs to get more serious about music and let go of the gimmicks. Even like the whole underground New York artist thing, it's like, just make songs, make music. And last but not least, we have Shawn Mendes, who has been making a recent comeback. Okay, he's been making a recent comeback. His single YY came out 2 months ago, and his new album Shawn, which he'll be getting ready to release around November-ish, I believe. So he's getting ready to release, and Shawn Mendes is a big artist, like super fans, but a lot of his popularity has died down a bit. He's taken, years off of music. Okay, so he's making a comeback, and it's very interesting. I heard his songs, YY. It's a nice song. It's not like my favorite kind of Shawn Mendes song, but it's a pretty decent song. Now, it didn't do amazing on the charts, like what he's used to performing. It wasn't terrible. It debuted at 84. But for Shawn Mendes numbers, that's kind of on the lower side. And then he has other singles that he has put out too. So it's interesting with this comeback. This comeback isn't as big as his other commercial successes. Now, he's recently put out a Friends and Family concert. He's doing I think a mini tour in US. So he's been doing really good with that, and he's building, his fame back up. But what do you guys think? I feel like, he probably just has to rebuild his brand again, get people more excited about him again, and go for a musical. I feel like he should be making songs that are a little bit more energetic. Go for the more popular, energetic songs. Not that YY is bad. I'm not saying he needs to get away from that, because he does a great at acoustics and these big, like, strong ballads, but I feel like for a comeback, you need a powerful comeback. You need a music that is powerful, that is energizing. Because right now, his comeback is kind of lukewarm. It's not a strong comeback. We don't know yet. The album hasn't come out yet, but based on the single and everything, it's a little bit lukewarm. He did perform at the VMAs, which was good. But I don't know. I feel like he needs more energetic music as a comeback. So what do you guys think about Shawn Mendes and his comeback? Do you think it's powerful? Do you think it's really good? Do you think he needs to do a little bit more? What would you say? Let me know in the comment section below. But yes, that is the Pop Boys, okay? That is it for now. We'll get to them in the next video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out my music as well, too. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thanks for watching.